Welcome back to Factorio and welcome back to Nullius. So last time I got the modules made, and what I've been doing in the modules in between is I've just stuck them in all the machines. So pretty much all of these, upgrading all of those. I'm not upgrading the steel here, so I'm going to do the sides but not the steel. Basically I think I'm going to rebuild this because I don't have enough steel anyway, and I do have better recipes to use to start with. So putting productivity in, probably not going to make a big deal on that. I'll rebuild it in a bit. Maybe today, I'll have to see. Now the way I did this, I actually went and got the module inserter mod, which you can find on the mod portal. So basically because the upgrade planner, it can upgrade machines and it can upgrade modules in machines, I believe. But you cannot put modules into a machine that doesn't have them. So module inserter has a very simple thing, which I've just gone with all the tier 2 machines and yield modules, so very straightforward. And then you take the module inserter item and you just drag it like an upgrade planner over the machines, and that's going to go and put modules in all those machines. But I am very short on modules. I did actually expand this a little bit. I think I added 4 more of each of these. Then immediately went low on resources, but do have some more of those. So first things first is going to be fixing the resource issue, and then I might need to do steel. I have to see what steel looks like. I think I have got, which I want to try and get around to today, is, here we go, I've got the robot frame too. So I'm basically up to being able to look towards getting the second tier of robots. I can make most of that stuff. I have made sensors, obviously I have robot frame 1s, I do have turbine 2s for stuff. I do not know how to make batteries, I do not know how to make fiberglass. I think fiberglass was related to the hard glass stuff I was looking at before when I set the glass up. So probably I'll do that down there. But that's what I think I'm going to start working towards, then just fixing problems that I need to fix along the way. So I don't think I'm going to rebuild the whole base with beacons. Like, I'll wait until I have a reason to rebuild something and I'll use beacons when I rebuild it. So, fixing the first problem. So, basically, as it stood, the only way I get hydrogen chloride from a chloride. So I started to fix problems. So basically, the only way I'm getting hydrogen chloride from chlorine was the plastic. But now I'm using this plastic instead, and that doesn't do this conversion from this to this. So what I think I'm going to have to do is just do the conversion myself. And I believe I have a recipe here somewhere just to do it directly. Is it that one? Nope. Is it this one? Yeah. Nope, that's the wrong one. This is the right one. So just taking hydrogen and chlorine by itself, it gives you hydrogen chloride. So since I don't have any particular reason to be keeping chlorine anymore, guess what I'm going to do is, I guess I stop doing this because this is converting hydrogen chloride back into chlorine, but probably that's not going to be essential anymore. So for the time being, I'm just going to disable it just in case I make a mistake on this. So I'm going to remove the valve, no more conversion. Then, since a lot of this is basically redundant anyway, it's just being used as like a backup, which means I don't really need it. I'm going to take out some of those machines. Reason for doing that is that then I can put the pipe across there and it gives me a way of getting the chlorine out. I think I'm going to build here though, so let's see about these machines. Probably just do a nice mirrored thing. Going to put modules in it, but I'm probably not going to put too many beacons on it because I think this recipe is very fast and very efficient, which means the beacon probably actually won't do very much. Oh, is this going to be one I can't actually put modules on anyway? That is very interesting. Why can't you put chlorine on that? Did I miss a recipe? Is there a better way of making hydrogen? Don't think I missed one unless there is a better way of making hydrogen chloride. Well, if I can't have any modules anyway, then I guess that answers that question. Because if there's no modules, there's no real need for beacons anyway, regardless of how fast or slow it is. So going to have that go in there, and then I'm going to try and find some hydrogen around. I think there's hydrogen over there. I need to get to it. This area of the base is actually a little bit of a mess. Is not going to help me. Actually, okay, let's go to the leftover relief valve because something else I just realised. This is only 60%. So this can't fill up these tanks past 60% anyway. So if I'm wrong about this not having any other way of making hydrogen chloride, can still have that. And there's hydrogen there, so what I'll do is, yeah, I'll get it from there. Never mind me, because for us that hydrogen there is the output from that, which means actually it's not a lot of hydrogen anyway. Which means I need to go get some more hydrogen. Hydrogen over there, that's actually easy to get to as well. So let's go this way instead, just link up with... of course I went straight into something. Well, I'll link up with this, so that, and then just connect those together. So they work, that'll keep my hydrogen chloride topped up, and I think that's the reason, yep, they're working again. I think that was the reason that they stopped. So I don't know if I need to expand this, because obviously modules seem to be using up quite a lot of this, which wasn't something I was really using too much before. If I do expand it, probably I'll build it like there or there. I'll just build it somewhere else, because this little space here is very, very cramped. So looking at the steel, it is starting to back up a little bit, but I think I will just upgrade it because of the extra efficiency. It's just so much more efficient to use this recipe for the iron and then the new steel recipes, that I think it's going to be better to retire this anyway. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm not going to rebuild this right now. I think that's not worth my time. I am going to put modules in it, because if every one of these modules is plus 3% and they take 2, that's plus 6% per machine. And if I upgrade these as well, then it's 3 steps, so it's like 6% compounded 3 times just on the iron there. And actually I can upgrade those as well to a better recipe. I might do that just after this. So if I can basically get that compounding on the productivity, really worth doing. The more steps there is, the better it is, so this looks like a good candidate. As for the steel itself, I think I'm going to build over here. Let's see, I can't want to leave space for science anyway. Maybe I'll build the steel here, and then if I need to rebuild the iron, because there's still a lot of ore there, 2.8 million. So it's still a long way away from needing to actually worry about trains. Well, if I did get trains, it's over to the west anyway, so that's convenient. Actually, forgetting that, there's loads of iron ore around here. Probably a long way off from trains, so basically leave the space free to expand the iron. If I need it, steel can go here, is my thought. So, looking at the new steel recipe, so it's this one, steel ingot 2. It takes iron ingots from the east. Lime, which I think I can get from the iron, but I'm not entirely sure if that's net positive or net negative. Guess I'll have to think about how that's going to work. Oxygen, that's easy, and it gives gravel, crushed limestone. Okay, that's fairly easy. In fact, crushed limestone, again, I'm not sure it's not positive or net negative, but I think probably it's going to be net negative on this one. So crushed limestone can feed back into here. So that's fairly straightforward. So I want to come up in line with this. I think that'll look neater. And what sort of machine is it? It's going to be a medium furnace. So basically furnaces along here somewhere. Then speed module is going to be, let's see, it's going to be there. So a strip of those like that, put the speed in them. Then this will be productivity, and that's probably about as best I'm going to get in terms of spacing, isn't it? Question is, where do I want the output to be? Because going to have that there, and then going to have that there. That's also a lot of inputs, so it would be really useful to have a belt on both sides. I think I can put the pipe here. I think I have a solution for this. So if these come in pairs, because actually I think I did this solution in vanilla. I'm pretty sure I've done it exactly this way before. So not doing belt weaving because I absolutely hate it. It's like evil. What I'm going to do is that. So that's going to be there with input. Then if that underground belt's like that, that's going to go under the next run. Then actually I should go like that, so it leaves an extra tile. Remembering the pattern now. So output inserters there. If the output inserters are there, it's going to be on that side of the belt. That goes round onto that belt. So input and output on one side with a standard beacon layout and no extra space. And no belt weaving either. Move that over one tile, because in that case you might as well just put the pipe straight here, and it makes this tileable and pretty and neat. Having moved, I actually realised something, which is I need to move it back. So the reason for that is with the current power pole tech I've got, which is just the pylons. Actually, I have got a substation, and that's going to have the same problem, because there's nowhere to put a thing there, and if the pipe was here, nowhere to put a pipe. Well, I think the power pole can go there, that works, and maybe the substation can go there. So let's have a look at the substation. Yeah, so that could go there. So if this tile's down, let's say I have that many of those. Let's see if that's the right number. These substations bigger than vanilla? I'm not really sure. Have to go compare. It feels pretty big though. That's a lot of machines. So that can go there. So leaving a gap there, but these beacons can touch that anyway, and the pipe can go like so. The only special bit then is going to be here. So obviously the pipe can't just go through it, but the pipe can go like that. And yeah, pretty much the same as I've done before then. fill out the rest of the beacons, and I am left with that. So input there, output there. Guess I need to do something special at the end. What's the range on these? I guess I'll just use another substation. Maybe I'll go automate those sometime soon. There's quite a few different things they need though, so I guess I'll just handcraft them for the time being. So, still waiting on some modules, but that's fine. So, I need to have as an input actually quite a few things. I need to put a belt here as well, but I'd rather not put a belt there. Oh, hang on, I'm a complete idiot. I even put the wrong recipe on here. That's the right recipe. I was like, why is there an extra ingredient that doesn't seem to match? So this is what I wanted. So put these down here. So now the right thing is set. So you've got two inputs, so that's why I needed just one belt. And then all these stuff can go off. It's going to end up being on half a belt, which is a bit unfortunate. I think this isn't too long, because the main issue I've got with this design is there's not much space there to do anything with belts. I'm somewhat dependent on it just fitting together. Well, I shall test it and see how it works. So let's just take the input first, probably go something like that. And we're going to come over to the end of the iron here to work out what I need. So I think I'm going to need all the limestone, but I don't think I'm going to necessarily... Well, I need some lime, but I don't know if I need all the lime. That's what I was getting at. So I think one way of doing that is if I filter out the lime here. So we're going to filter that to the left. So lime will now go this way. And then we're going to filter it with priority that way. That's going to go off to the steel. And I guess I don't need a fast belt for this anyway. At least this bit. So I can go through there. And then what I'm going to do with the lime is just take it up to wherever it goes to. So that doesn't need to be a filter anymore. Just we'll put that straight on there and then carry on from there. Then, oops, I put some iron on there by accident. Then iron goes around there, so now I have iron and lime on one belt, which goes around to the steel. That's going to need oxygen, but I've got oxygen up there, so I'll be able to bring that down in a moment. And for the output, only special output here, so do a steel ingots in a second, but for the, what was it? It was crushed limestone, or was it limestone? I think it was crushed limestone. Shall see in a second, but whichever one it is, I remember the icon, so I just need to go see it. It was this one, crushed limestone. So that's going to come over there, and what I want to do with that is if I can actually use underground past the beacon, get underground past this. In fact, that's very convenient. It can feed in straight into there, as long as it's on the... What side is that going to be? The bottom side, the top side. So top side goes around there. Top side would be that side. That's actually the right side already, so really nice. And I'm going to set that to input priority, so this is priority. So once I get the ocean connected up, that will work. So that can then carry on. Guess I'll just use a fast belt to be safe. And then what's actually the most here? Actually, it's mostly steel as an output, so probably be fine once I split the steel off. Not sure I didn't really leave space there, so I guess I'll do... Actually, not sure where I want to do steel. Maybe I have to do steel here, so... Split that off to the left, and I'm going to have steel ingots on the left. In which case, this here should just be gravel, so that can go join up with the rest of the gravel here. There you go, oxygen is coming in, so these are now working. Quite a slow recipe actually, but it does craft a lot in one go. So, limestone off there, gravel there, and I have the steel there. So, looking at the first steel things, the question is going to be how big to make these. Maybe I'll do 3 of each. So the difference is going to be sulfuric acid. I had sulfuric acid down by the science, so that's going to be that one, that one. I actually got a steel beam upgrade, so let's do that first. So if it goes in line with that, that should fit with the beacon layout. So steel beams, doesn't require anything special, so steel beams can just be a steel and then steel beams. In fact, I almost certainly don't need a fast belt for that. So simple inserter layout. Like so. Should have put some modules on there. Well, we've got the module inserter. There you go. Module's done. Beacons will go over that side, so brilliant. And then it's going to take the steel down there. And I'm going to link the steel beams up with wherever they were before. In fact, another change I'm going to make while I'm doing this, I'm going to delete this hair. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to let this hair use up the iron ore that's already in the system. Now the next ones, they're going to be a bit more tricky, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make this 100% tileable. Because I think it's going to be like the vanilla ones sees, because like the vanilla assembly machine, because this is always free spaced apart. Whereas with say a chemical plant, the mirroring really does help with that. So let's just see how this looks. So basically that's going to have to go... Oh, I said there's output as well. Well, I can't do output and input on one side. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is put it over here. So with the module, with the input and output fluid on both sides, then if I just had like here, both the input and output belts on one side, it doesn't really work because I need to have a pipe, and I can't just put the pipe over there out the way. So actually that's worse than vanilla. So going to be a new layout for that. And wondering what to do about these. I guess I can just leave them here, but I'm going to do it horizontally up here instead. So basically I'm going to move it, rebuild this, I'm going to rebuild it here. Maybe even here. I think I'm good until I get up to that belt there. Yeah, I'm good up to that belt, so I can actually go like here and it should be okay. Leave a bit of space in case I'm wrong, so I'm going to build it kind of in line with that. So when I come on to the next one, what that's going to mean is, if we look at, say, the steel plate, what I can do then is... Oh, you can't get between these machines. Bit annoying. Oh well. What I can do with that then is I can take the pipes out over there where they're kind of more out the way. So, if I put the pipe on the right side, but that's the idea. So if I'm going to put sludge on the top, move these pipes so as they line up, so it's going to be like that and that. Actually, I guess I could make it a bit more compact. So if I did that on just one side, so let's say all the steel is on this side of the belt. Then if that's the case and this comes down here, then what I can do is input, output, input, output, input, output, but I need to leave a gap. So this machine can't be here, I have to move over one further. So what the gap does is mean I can have a belt here, or a splitter rather. The splitter is going to take out the steel plates like that to the right, and then I can repeat the same thing again. Come down to there, and this time it's going to be one for steel rods. So the downside of this design right now is I'm not actually... Yeah, actually I do want to... Let's just change it slightly. I was going to say the downside is I'm not like prioritizing the steel, but I can change that. So if I did, for example, put that there, then I can have another belt come across there. And what that means I can do, since I can't put anything here anyway, there's pipes in the way. But might as well just go there. What that means I can do then is I can split the steel in advance. And what I'm going to do for this one is do that. Then I can have this go here like that. So steel split for beams, then like that. It's going to be a bit fairer actually. It's not going to be a... It's not a fair 1 to 3, so it's going to be half, 1/4, 1/4. But I think that should be... It's better than getting nothing at all if one thing's in high demand. Then that leaves the piping like that. I can just use substations down here for powering it. That reached everything, that reached everything, so that's great. And I guess I should actually... I guess I have kind of built on top of wind turbine, not the end of the world though. So steel is now working, so... Kept them up there. I actually flipped those around the opposite way just so it was easier to keep them on the same side of the belt as they used to be. So steel plates on top, rods on bottom. Here's what I've got here. And I've also decided to totally demolish the old... It's not actually the original iron, it's one of the older ones. I think it's the one I built after this one. It's basically a copy of this one. So I'm going to delete that and I'm going to upgrade these iron plates and iron rods. Also by making myself some more space there, because maybe I'll build a new thing here, for example. I have to see the recipes, but make some space here since the science is there. And I don't particularly want to rebuild all the science from scratch. Maybe I get to the next science pack. If it will fit in this space here, then I'm happy because I can just put it in the space here. So actually looking at the new iron, it's basically identical to steel except it's acid and sludge. So I have acid production, I can bring that down the bus, that's no problem. So I guess maybe I'll just copy paste this and then basically just use this design. As for where to build it, Could actually build it here, I think, if I got rid of that one wind turbine. Could have built it here. I didn't build that there because I think I might expand the steel out to multiple rows at some point. Iron would expand here and here, so over here should be safe. So going to lose one wind turbine, and more important, I'm going to need to find a position for that relay maybe. Let's see which way around I want this. So I need the pipes on the right so that I can reuse the... Oh, what's up in the way? I can move that one belt. So reuse this, let's just put that like that, then I can have that there as well. Reuse these beacons, so it's basically just an efficiency thing. So let's see what that's going to do. So that's going to be putting the plates over here. The plate's going to come around here on this side, and then if I sideload that on there, then I'm going to get a belt with stuff on both sides. Move that over a bit, makes a gap. In fact, can that make a gap all the way across there? Nope, but I bet the fast one can. Yep, it can. So input for the iron is going to be like that, and then that splitter there will make it even. So looking at this belt, it was plates on the bottom and rods on the top. So opposite to the steel, because naturally. So plates on the bottom would be, let's see, it'd be on this side. So yep, these ones are going to be iron plates, and the other ones will be iron rods. So plates and rods. Otherwise, I think this is basically just what it is. It's basically just copy paste. Nothing really different to do here. That will go up, get past all that stuff, and I think it's actually even this belt here. Yep, it is even that belt. So very simple to link it up with that. Then I kind of wish I built this slightly different here, but I guess I can work with it. Not really worth rebuilding it or redesigning it. So if that goes up there, comes down there, like loops around, can underground belt to the other side, and that puts the iron ingots on the bottom into there. So I do need to be on a particular side as well, don't they? They need to be on the top edge. That shears that edge, I think. So if I did it that way, then it would side load onto the correct side as well. And if I've got a solution for the ingots I just picked up, so what I'm going to do is do that. Put a chest there, so this is for the iron ones. Then basically what I'm going to do is put a logistic chest in like I did before. So request all the ingots to here, which the robots just picked up. And that's just to dump out the... Basically there's no reason at all why I want to have these in the storage network. So iron plates and iron rods also done up, so I think that's both that upgraded, and the steel itself. It's quite a slow recipe, so I might come back and build some extra ones of these, but it's tileable, so I can just build like another block. I think it'd be like that basically. Yeah, in fact it's absolutely clear, so I can just upgrade that if I need to when I need to. So it looks like actually I need fast inserters for this as well. I've got fast inserters coming up in the research at some point, but it's a bit unfortunate because I think if the inserters were faster, these 3 machines would give me a full belt, and they're not, but I'm seeing the machines stop all the time. So on to new and exciting things. So to make the new robots, I will need fiberglass. That's one of the things I've not made that I will need. A couple of other things, let's start with this. So that's going to require glass fiber. Glass fiber requires hard glass, so that one's very easy, and hard glass is very roughly the same as I use for glass anyway. So that's going to be handy for using these resources to make that. Then I need epoxy. That's the extra thing on there I've not made. So let's look at epoxy. That requires BPA. I'd made that for plastic. Requires solvent. Not done that. Requires ECH. Not done that. Solvent. Methanol, carbon monoxide, oxygen. So that's a purely chemical plant thing. So I guess I'll do that down south. Looks fairly easy. And no idea what that's about. One I want is ECH1. So that's going to require chlorine, got chlorine, caustic solution, got caustic solution, and propane, got that. Produces brine, that's interesting. I have to think brine is not really worth keeping. Let's just see how this brine here is going, because I am basically running this to produce brine, so I guess I could pump the brine into there. And then it would get turned back into chlorine and sodium hydroxide. It's a possibility. Not sure that's enough brine to be really worried about, but if it's easy to do it, I guess I'll put it there instead of just dumping it. So I'm thinking, since I've got the BPA here and other chemical stuff down here, thinking like here and here. Actually, compared to the plastic, this uses up a lot of BPA, so I might need to make more BPA as well, but I'll have to see about that. And let's start with methanol though. Methanol was, I think, relatively slow to make, and I'm going to need quite a bit of it. So that's 20 divided by 3. So that's like 7 per second for each thing. So I think methanol's like 2. Yeah, methanol's 2. So I was going to have to assume I need to make a lot of those. So let's just round up to 8. Actually, with productivity, let's go with 6 and assume productivity will help me out there. Nothing else makes methanol that I'm aware of. No, the only methanol recipe is this recipe. So, yeah, I've only used 6 for each thing, so maybe I'll make 12 of these. That's quite a lot. Methane. I wonder if I can get methane a better way, because the way I'm making methane right now is pretty inefficient using the carbon dioxide and hydrogen, but it did use up an awful lot of it for the other stuff. So for example, I think there was a methane on one of the like cracking, splitting, whatever things these are. Oh yeah, so I can take excess propane or excess ethylene and turn either of those into methane. This could be a better way of doing it because I suspect, yeah, this is still venting stuff and being incredibly inefficient and wasteful because I was kind of tired when I built it and I just did something quick. So I can feel I can definitely take the ethylene from here and make that ethylene into methane. Wondering how much space to leave. I think I'm going to build it over there. So basically, if this was to extend and extend and extend, let's say that one there will be the first one. Oh, these are such a circular thing. Which one do I actually want to do that? Ethylene or propane? Can I work out which one I'm venting the most of? Actually looks like I've messed this up and I'm venting everything. That's really bad. I'm just literally wasting resources there. Wasting power, wasting time and resource. So let's go fix that. Yeah, I think new condition, everything. Well, say anything, or no, not each. Anything less than, let's say 3,000. Still not doing what I want. Why is this outputting? Actually, I don't even need the machine at all then. No, I need the machine. I don't think I need the logic circuit. So if I change that, then let's just connect those directly together. So anything less than 3,000. So this is going to disable this as long as there's a stockpile of all 3 things. Right now there's a stockpile of all 3 things, and therefore whether site's backed up or not isn't an issue because there's a stockpile. So that's going to turn that off and that's going to solve that problem. Overflows I'll leave there because I need to have some sort of gas in the system to drive the butadiene. So that's fine. Steam can keep driving the butadiene, but I'm not going to be wasting wherever I was wasting just because. I guess it would have stopped eventually because eventually they'd have got over 9,000 each. They'd have like balanced out, but it was wasting a lot of resource trying to get there. But I guess look at this side. Now I gotta use up propane, so that's good, and I'm going to use up propane and benzene for that. Yeah, actually ethylene might be the thing I have the most of, so let's go with that. So in terms of connecting this up, methane is definitely something I've not got anywhere else, so methane, definitely keep that separate. Then let's see if I can match these with these. So that's the one with lots of little stars on. So that's that one, and then that's that one. So what that means is I can actually connect these pipes to these pipes. And there's only actually a single input, so this is actually is a little bit more compact. Don't need extra space there. Single input can go like that, and I'm going to take the ethylene. Oh yes, I still don't want to burn ethylene for no purpose, do I? Well, I need the methane, so the methane is going to be the restricting factor on this machine. So then if I took the ethylene just straight off of, I guess we need to take off of here, so let's go up and take it from there. And because of the beacon size, I'm still going to need to leave a gap here just so it line up with the beacons. So power and stuff's going to look like that, and then yeah, I put the power there, that's fine. Connect the methane up there. Don't know how many of these I'm going to need, so I'm just going to start with this, I guess. And then put the methane, let's just put it at the bottom. It's probably the easiest place to put it. So as I did do the math slightly wrong, so if I need 6.6 every second of methanol and this produces 2, then I only actually need 3.3 machines with productivity. Let's just call it 3. So if I do 6 lots of methanol to 2 lots of solvent, so starting with methanol, And I guess I'll build that here, leave a lot of space so I can deal with this. So basically going to come over here. Do I want to keep the beacon? I don't think I really care if the beacons line up or not, so let's just start there. 2 methanol chemical plants. So looking at this, output is really simple. Input is 2 things again, which once again I'm just going to copy this because might as well just use what already works. So that's the input. Output is just going to be, like I said, nice and simple. But I guess I can even underground it, but now I'm just going to use regular pipes. It's not going to run a long distance. So 6 of these would be like that. Should I build one of those there? No, what I should have done is built this whole thing. I'm going to move the beacon instead. It'll be easier. Yeah, I want to not align the chemical plants and the beacons directly because you get less beacons per chemical plant. That goes for any 3x3 machine. So they go there. So 6 of these, and they're going to feed into 2 solvents. So set these machines to solvents. That's that one. This one, well, it's actually not really more interesting. So take this design again for the input, and then take this design here for the output. So once that's placed on there, going to have some more beacons. I think they go there. So oxygen in the middle, that's fine. I've got oxygen here as well actually, so what I can do with that is link those together. That's easy. Then I need to bring in the methane. I need to bring in the methanol from there to there. So that can probably do, yeah, I like that, looks good. So that can underground there, that links up nicely. Wastewater, can put it with the other wastewater. Solvent I want. Yep, so that's everything here, just link it up with the bus down here, so that shouldn't take long. Probably really much to show at this point because I just need to extend these over like this, and then I'm just putting T-junctions on each one as needed like that. So finally the carbon monoxide, so I'm going to decide whether I'm going to put this in line or not. So this recipe needs 40 by 3, so that's 40 by 3 by 2. Well, 40 divided by 3 times 2, so that's 26 carbon monoxide per second before productivity, so we're going to work out how this goes. Actually, it looks like one machine does 26 anyway, so probably one machine with productivity will do that fine. So let's just see if I can put that one machine, let's say here, so there's a little bit of space there so I can do stuff. So let's see how this works. Hydrogen and carbon dioxide, well both of those are new. What I could do though is just take them straight down there and do with them at the bottom, because I'm not going to put any machines down there anyway, because it's getting to my bus. So that kind of gets that out the way. And then I need to get from here to here. Well, if I'm not doing more than 2 of these at a time, that can go there, that can go there. Then having done that, that can come up there and join across there, that is fine. Only special thing left is water then, but like those 2 in fact, why did I link those 2 together? That was wrong. They are separate things. But like those 2, then the water comes down here. Put a little bit in there to give it extra reach. So that and wastewater. Wastewater I'll probably deal with, let's say there. So wastewater comes across there and goes down. And that's just a few more things for me to add to the bus here. So just power up all the beacons, and I think I'm then done here. One over there. So this is working. Hopefully that's going to be enough solvent. So I'm making 2 of these, so it's slightly less than 10 per second. But actually with that crafting speed bonus, it's probably slightly more. Plus obviously the machine is double that anyway. So hopefully a good amount of solvent. Carbon monoxide looks like it's the correct ratio, so that keeps that nice and compact. And maybe I got the methanol correct ratio, we'll see. Now I'm trying to keep this relatively simple. ECH needs caustic solution and chlorine, which means it's kind of a pain to make it all over there because I don't have either this or the caustic solution. So what I need to do is bring the caustic solution down, probably down here somewhere. In fact, maybe I can do it like next to that, so let's say I bring it down here. Then I've got the chlorine there, and I think I'm just going to do it here. Actually, even better idea, since caustic solution is just sodium hydroxide and water isn't exactly hard to make, plus I've got it there anyway, so I can bring the water from here over to here. I'm just going to make more caustic solution here because I have actually got the sodium hydroxide belt here, and actually getting past all of this stuff to get over to hair is a bit of a pain. So while I wait on the plant for that, I wonder if I can make ECH hair. Let me see what that required exactly, because I can't remember, I've forgotten already. ECH was one of these, wasn't it? Probably make it hair. I wonder if I should make something else here though. Kind of feel like that should be doing solid stuff there because it would be more out the way. So let's do ECH. If I've got the propane and the caustic solution and stuff, I could do it over here. No, I'm changing my mind a bit, but oh well. So ECH. So if I do that here, so if I was to look here, already got space here for pipe work, so mostly it's a question of how did the pipes end up looking. Looks like I'm out of mirrored ones, so let's just make some more mirrored ones while I wait for those hydro plants. And look at the ECH recipe. So I mean it's fluid, so there's not actually really much to say here. It's going to be 2 in, 2 out again. So 2 in there, 2 out there. That'll be slightly different to make it tileable. How much do I actually need? It makes 5 per cycle, so 5 per cycle is pretty good. Need 3 epoxy per fiberglass. I don't need a great deal of fiberglass, I think. And I need 10, so slightly less than 1 per epoxy. So let's say I need like 3 per cycle. 3 per second something could be fine, which actually this produces plenty. So let's go do 2 for the time being. Maybe I'll extend this in the future. So for propane, that can come from down on the bus down there. Brine. I remember what I want to do over there. Yeah, this is way too special. I was about to say, because that, and that, at the very least, need to be over here. Well, I've got the layout now, so if I just take this and let's put it over. Now, I can do other solid stuff here. Let's just put it here for convenience. Like, let's just line up with, say, those two. So, let's start with that. And there's plenty of space there to do pipe work because it's going to run into the water anyway. So hydro plant for caustic solution, might as well go there. Not going to worry about having too many of the, what do you want to call it, speed beacons, but I will have yield modules on those. Because might as well save some sodium hydroxide if I can. So then that makes that bit very easy because that basically just needs to come from there to there. In fact, that could have... Actually, that's fine because that can go around like that. That's perfectly fine. So water and sodium hydroxide will be easy because I'm not worrying about beacons. So input and input. As for water, I could bring over here. I could also just do a very small, like... I've actually got wastewater here. Let's just do a very small setup. Because this is so cheap once you've got the wells, it's not even really worth worrying about. So make another well, make another machine. Put those somewhere here, doesn't even really matter where. I'm going to go over there. Can move it easy enough, so water goes into that. And wastewater goes up and joins that. These are annoying machines, when you rotate them, they rotate differently. Just fix that quickly. There you go, that will work now. Okay, I think I'll rotate that, yeah, and if you rotate that... Yeah, I think it changes which side the pump output is on. So that's working now, so that's got water. It just needs the sodium hydroxide to come down from there. So that should be really simple, like so. Input there, give it a power pole, perfectly fine. Chlorine just needs to come from there, so I can do that and get the chlorine. And then brine, how wide am I actually about brine? I could just dump it, or I could try and link it up with that. Well, right now I can't see an easy way to get across this gap here. Pipe isn't long enough, or the underground pipe isn't long enough, so I'm just going to actually... Should I do even better now? I can just put it down here, as out the way as possible. Maybe in the future I'll change... That was actually the wrong pipe I was looking at. Let's look at the right pipe in the first place. So maybe in the future I'll do something about brine, but for now I'm just going to keep that simple. This pipe actually wasn't for brine anyway. This one just needs to come over to one of these. So that can come down. And the way this is set up, it should be storing plenty of chlorine anyway. So that should be the ECH working. That's a very fast recipe, so hopefully plenty of that getting made. And I think I've got everything I need now to make the epoxy. So epoxy was this one. So BPA, I can actually take an insert off of here. If at some point in the future I decide I need too much, or I need more, I can... I guess actually I just move this along eastward, westwards rather, and then I can extend this. So yeah, definitely easy to take that from there right now. I just need to do a better job than I just did. I think the easiest way would be if that underground's across there, like so, then that leaves a nice space there for that. There you go, that works fine. And actually look at the epoxy, because it's got the solid input as well as the two fluids. What I'm expecting to find, I'm going to test it, but unless the fluid is on the side, which I somewhat doubt, unless we could reassign it, no, then I'm going to struggle anyway to have fluids and beacons in a like tileable layer like this. So the fact I've already got this mess here, I'm not too bothered because I'm probably about to make more mess. Because what I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to do is if I come up here, I'm not even sure how far north or south I'm going to end up building this, to be honest. We'll have to see on that. Epoxy is an output there. That looks very similar. I guess it's a slightly different tint on the colour. Looks very similar though. That could be confusing. I have to be careful with that one. So if that is like that, how much is this I wanted? Probably one is fine actually. Let's just do the two because that's a nice mirrored thing, and then it can tile. So because I'm going to have a belt here for the solid BPA stuff, it's going to be a pain to try and do two fluid pipes at the same time. So I'm just going to put them down here. And then that's why I said I've already got a mess here, so I don't mind making more of a mess. So they'll link up like that, they'll link up like that. As for joining them together, so ECH is over here anyway. So that's going to be... Is it going to line up? It's not going to quite line up, that's unfortunate, but it's going to line up closely. And if I extend this out, I can always adapt this easy enough. Solvent's going to come from over there, so that's just going to be another underground pipe. And I think I've got solvent there, so... Yep, I missed the turbine. Slightly wide, that's going to hit the turbine, so that's easy. That links those together. Then the BPA, that's a transport belt, so transport belt going in the right direction up to here, across here, so that should be good too. Now I just need to make sure it all has power and stuff. So, yep, that'll do for now. So that should be epoxy done once the robots build that stuff. So, let's like the way I did the hydrogen exposed another problem, which is because I've now got multiple inputs so these could run at speed, and I've got multiple outputs such as there and there. This input at the top here, which is for surplus hydrogen, as in do not overflow hydrogen, actually gets stuck because it's essentially becoming lower priority than some of the other sources. So that's a bad thing, and I think the easiest way to solve that is going to be to add even more pumps, because more pumps is probably the solution to everything maybe. So I'm going to put one on here on this tank, and hopefully that'll be able to feed this pump and this pump, because this hydrogen being taken out, so you can see there's 250 or so on average there. It's just not going to pump it in because of how the other pumps are laid out. I could also use circuit conditions so that these only fill up like halfway, but I'm just going to do it this way for now and see if that works. So yeah, moving the pump down here, that's now getting 250 or so a second. So it's been able to supply these ones, and that should drain this pipe out. Yep, it's already basically drained this pipe out. So that's going to stop these getting stuck because of the hydrogen, which was a problem. So onto the glass working section of this task. So I need alumina, I need lime, and I need silica. So those three things are there. Also need boric acid. That is not there. So boric acid I can get by adapting this. And I don't know how much boric acid I'm going to need relative to sulfuric stuff. So I'll have to go over there. I'll do it in a second. So I'm going to probably do is build both recipes. So possibly I built this whole thing way too close to that cliff. So I guess that's my fault, but yeah, that is frustrating to say the least. So let's see if I can... Oh, let's rebuild it down here, but then I've got this volcanic gas there. Gonna have to do a little bit of work to move it, I think. So let's go with hair looking good. Gonna put yield modules in because... Actually, I don't know why, because basically I've only got one thing here anyway, and this isn't really running at full speed anyway. So at the moment it doesn't really matter how much gas I use up, as long as I only need to have one thing at a time. But shall work that out later. So this one here can produce boric acid because that can go off there easily. And I wonder if I should actually make these mirrored. Yeah, I'm going to make this a mirrored one. So what that's going to let me do is basically just combine some of these things together. Actually, I'm still just going to vent that, I think. That's just air, if I recall. Is it just air? Let me check. Yeah, it's just air, so I don't think it's worth... Like, an air filter doesn't use up that much energy, so I don't think it's worth the hassle of trying to, like, preserve that. So I'm just going to dump the air, join those together. Now, I put my tank here now. And what I can do, I think, is if I change this around, going to put a pump on here and here, and basically just try and move the gas from here to here. Because, like, as much as it's not that valuable, I don't want to waste it just because I can waste it. That seems like, well, wasteful, so I don't want to do that. So, okay, tank empty, new input goes there. You actually need volcanic gas over there, I guess, so going to connect that back up. One tile too far away, well that's unfortunate, so they connect there. Then I can actually connect both these outputs here, but I want to make this one porty. So I think the way to do that is if I find, what would that be, a top up valve maybe? Trying to work out how this will look, because I need to get sulfur dioxide needs to go over there. I've also got sulfur dioxide input here. This one obviously has porty. I guess I'll just leave that tank there. So what I could do is if I use regular old basic pipe on that one, then use the good pipe on this one like this, then once this one's backed up, in fact I could at least underground that I suppose, make it a bit tidier. But then once this one's backed up, this one's going to get porty over this one, and this one can produce me the boric acid like so. Then carbon monoxide, I think I had a thing for that. Which one was it? There it is. So I can just link up with the old carbon monoxide. So initially these should both run until the pipe is filled up, but then this one should, as you see, hit the limit on sulfur dioxide. It's not getting removed, while this one is still getting drained. So I'm going to use this one until the boric acid gets blocked up. And the boric acid, I guess I'll just take it along this pipeline because I've already got space there of sorts. And then once that belt's done, that should solve that one for me. In fact, look at what I've got here. Since these are going to be my input belts for making hard glass with the lime, if I extend that up there, bring the boric acid there and side load it, just because I don't want to trust the side of the belt because that's so long I'll probably forget and screw it up. So side load there. Then I'll have two belts with the 4 inputs, so that will make the hard glass a bit easier. But I do want to use beacons for this, because I'm using beacons for the new stuff, so we're going to start the hard glass over here. So if I put that there, then hard glass, what was it on the inputs and outputs? I think it's going to have to be, yeah, it's going to have to be that double layout again, and it is a furnace. So medium furnace is what I've got, so let's take those. Put those in there. I think that'd be the right position, or I could put that one there, and then we can start. I'll start there. So basically building these in twos, so 2, 4, etc. Another set of beacons over there. So that's going to look like that. So set the recipe to hard glass. So one set of inputs is going to be easy, and I guess because those are there, they're going to come upwards. So one set of inputs, but I do need to mix the outputs and the inputs again because I need to fit this in. So going to once again use the same layout, so that goes there, then this one goes there. Got that one slightly wrong because if I do that then output inserters can go like that, and very simple. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these substations definitely have a lot more range than vanilla, because I'm pretty sure vanilla I need to put one like there and then there. But this does the whole thing really nicely, and it's out the way. So take my inputs here and just wrap them around to over there. I just realised a small mistake when I moved the steel. So this crushed iron ore here is coming from the aluminium production. So this went into the old one here, which I actually was trying to wait for this to shut down entirely, so for all these to deplete. And that wasn't happening as much as, well, it wasn't depleting entirely, it's like this bit's here and it's now a mess. And it's basically because it's crushed iron ore, so I need to bring the crushed iron ore over here somewhere. And I think I can feed it in We need to go down to the end here, or I need to have a priority thing, one or the other. Probably down to the end is easiest right now, so if I was to put it on, say, here, it can go past all these other bits and pieces. Can it go around that? I think it can go around that. Yeah, it can. So it'll go on there and get priority over this. So that's what the crushed iron ore is going to do now. Oh, and actually I made another mistake. I do actually need crushed iron ore on this belt still. And why have I managed to make it so it's on the opposite side? Well, that's a bit unfortunate. Well, let me try and think how I can tie it up. I think what I want to do is wait for the science to use up as much of the belt as I can, and then I need to rework this belt. Probably delete this at the same time, so I'll make reworking that belt easier. Anyway, back to this. So, problem here seems to be silica. Guess I'm just using up a lot of silica because they seem to be working at fairly fast pace. What could I do here? Well, that's actually using up all the sandstone. Oh well, the sandstone's running out. Well, that's inconvenient. Where's some more sandstone? Can I update this quickly? Answer to that would be a no. So sandstone there, there's more sandstone up there. And there's a bit over there, but that is annoying to say the least. So basically what I need to do is move... Well, I think I should move the whole glass thing. I don't want to move the whole glass thing. But I guess I need to start thinking about moving, at least making the sand. Because what I could do is make this belt the opposite direction. So if this belt goes down instead of up, then that could supply the silica. And then if sandstone's there, so basically that'd be making about kind of like here. That's manageable. I can do with that. Well, glass will back up eventually anyway, because it's just because I used up a lot of glass, I think. And also, it did actually stop for a little bit because this stone, I do need to find a better solution for stone, and that might involve just making chlorine for the sake of making chlorine. But until I got rid of the rest of this sodium hydroxide back pile, I'm not getting as much chlorine as I would if I hadn't had all this stored up, but at the same time I don't want to waste it. So wait until this has all been used, and then I'll see. I'll have to see you after that. Oh, other dumb mistakes. That was the wrong belt. That should have gone there. So all the output belts got filled up with input. Well done me. So let's just fix that like so. So that's fixed, and just put that in there manually. Well, I've got crushed limestone. Let's put that over there out my way. So as soon as silica gets past, I will have silica, so that shouldn't be a problem long term. So let's just look at the next thing. So the next thing is to make hard glass into glass fiber. That just requires, well, that's 2 fluids in the foundry. Fluids in the foundries play really badly with beacons. That much I have noticed, because you cannot mirror them, and because I need solids as well, I cannot just fit the pipe in. So I guess I'll build that here because it leaves a little bit more space and I can use a different beacon layout. I think that, yeah, that's probably the best bet. Right, how much hard glass do I need? So that makes 1 every 10 seconds, and that's using 2 15 seconds. Well, I can always extend the hard glass down south if I need to, so let's just see what I get with having a couple of foundries up here. So extend this up. Extend this up. I don't want to go further than this actually, so I'm going to stop there and put a foundry down. Set those to glass fiber. And yep, so I've already got problems with fluids because actually these are kind of in the way. Can move those though, as long as I don't move this or the turbine, I'm fine. So water's going to come in on that side and steam is going to be on that side. And that way I get to have a belt there and a belt there. This is the hard glass belt. Oh, there you go, silica is sorted itself out, I thought it would. So then they can go in and out quite easily. Got water there, so that's easy, and I guess steam, I could just vent it. I don't think I'm going to get, how much steam am I even getting? So that's, even if that was 50 steam per second, and it's not, it's every 15, one turbine would require 480 per second, so that's just a stupid number. I'm not even going to bother building a turbine for that, just vent it, it'll be easier. In fact, I wonder if I could even just build the vents inline, which does actually make this tidier, because then I don't have anything over here. So if the vents were here, then This would have to... no, I'd have to leave a gap in between the machines. These foundries are really irritating with how they don't have a mirroring thing. If you can mirror them, they'd be so much easier to work with. So, well, back to that, and for now I'll just put the chimneys there. Finally onto fiberglass. That requires actually another fluid, so that's going to be similarly slightly difficult. So I guess I'll do it here, and this is difficult anyway. Means I'll have to have more beacons, say here, but better than having more beacons everywhere. As long as I can get enough space here, that's going to be the issue. I don't really want to move that turbine over this problem. Could use large assemblers, interesting. So large assemblers would be more efficient for the speed beacons, because you get more beacons around one machine, and therefore you need less machines, and each machine gets a bigger boost. Also means less productivity modules, lots of bonuses to that. In terms of quantity, I don't think I need very much at the moment either. Maybe I'll need a lot of fiberglass in the future, but if I get intermediate products, I only need 5 fiberglass for 2 robots. So every robot needs 2.5 fiberglass. It's not a great deal. Now if I was going to do it here though, that leaves me that much space. So it might be goodbye turbine. I'd rather keep the turbines because basically it's just power. But at the same time I could just build turbines like here or wherever. There's so much space in Factorio, it's not really worth getting too upset about it. So that can move the beacons there. Then I might actually need to move even further, because basically you're thinking there's 2 of those. Let's go to the extreme. So I think with the steam there, I don't want to move over further than that. Definitely don't want to move that. Well, it's going to have to move down a tile then, because if I move that I'm going to have gaps in my robot network, and that is annoying. So that's going to come down a little bit further there. Then the first machine will be... I think that'll be there. Try to work that out, because yeah, if there was... keep getting confused by the size of these. Nope, 1 tile further. Because they don't completely like occupy the tile, so it looks like there's more of a gap than there is. Keep getting myself confused for some reason. It's not even like it's that big a gap, so I'm not sure why it's confusing me. In fact, since that's a 15-second recipe and that's an 8-second recipe and these are fast machines, let's just have the 2. 2 should be perfectly fine. And oh, these aren't going to align with the because the beacons are size 3 and these aren't. One advantage of doing that though is it's going to leave me a tile like that. I guess I'll just live with the fact it's not quite aligned to the beacons. That can go down to the solvent. I can put the input glass on there, so that's going to come from here. So if that goes there, underground, comes across, feeds into these machines, then output will be their output will go upwards, and then I should have fiberglass. In fact, it was speed boost. That's got a crafting speed of 6.24 once that's done. So that's producing fiberglass really quickly, so that's nice. And go have a look at what's next, because I need to decide whether I can do it right now or whether I want to take a break. So carbon fibre I don't have, plastic I have, sodium I know how to get, iron oxide I can steal from the iron plate setup, aluminium sheets that's easy on solvent I have, so it's not a massive thing. But I think by the time I do that and actually deal with robots, that's going to be basically an entire another episode. So I think I'll leave that there for today. Did make good progress. Got a nice new steel setup done. Upgraded the iron. So there's just one more thing to do on that, I think. So if this is finally depleted down, well, there's a few more bars there I don't really care about. Then what I can do is, if I delete that, link up the new production. In fact, the steel plates have run out, so that's probably broken something. So link up the new production. Then old production can go entirely. So basically this entire thing is going. So tidying up and fixing the sun. So I need graphite, but that was only actually required over here. So I think it was required, yeah, for the lamps. Leave that in place. So I don't need the graphite here for the iron anymore because that's all gone. So that can just become a nice straight belt down here. Now there is actually a half belt there, but I think that's going to be a pain to reuse. So what I'm thinking of doing is, in fact, what's even this for? I think this is dead as well. Yeah, this is dead. This is from the old aluminium setup, I think. I think it used to have crushed iron ore and bauxite on it, but that's gone entirely. So if I forget about that too, that makes all of that a whole lot tidier. And I think what I'll do for graphite then is just bring it down to there. Then if this underground belt's a little bit more, what I can do is that will come onto there, go around there and link up. But I need half a belt, so I'll try and keep it. Actually, it doesn't matter which side it is, but I need half a belt on that. So that'll be graphite. And I'm just going to tidy all this up as well. I don't need these undergrounds anymore. I think it looks nicer without them. Then I actually want the crushed iron ore, so I think what I'm going to do is I can change this slightly actually. So if I do that, put the condition on that, so that bauxite can't go anywhere. Take the filter off of here. So this is still output priority, so the crushed iron ore and the bauxite will go down here preferentially. But if it can't do that, then it should go along there to the steel. So go both crushed iron ore and bauxite on here, which can come straight down here. Fortunately, I seem to have done that on the opposite side, so I guess I'll have to empty out this belt. But then that can supply this stance here. Then we're going to get rid of a bunch of these belts and then see what else I can tidy up. So I am still going to need this, but I don't want it all the way over here now because this is kind of out of the way of where it needs to be. So if I move this, what if I could just put it like here? It'd be more out of the way here, wouldn't it? And then I could bring the gravel belt all the way down to it. So yeah, let's go with that. So if I build that there, then that's going to come across and basically we're going to change the direction of that. Then this here will be gravel input. Just seeing how I need to build this. I guess actually I could put this probably there, would be easier. So let's go with there, it's more out the way. Kind of getting in the way of stuff there, so we'll come down to there. That looks good. So what I can do with that then is put that there. Put a gravel filter on there. It's not going to be filters, it's going to be an output priority. So output priority down here. And then I still need to get rid of the stone from crushing limestone. So that could come up here. And that could just underground itself out the way. And then going to merge in the stone there. One of these days I'll actually have a proper solution for stone, but this will definitely work for the time being. And looks like that can actually quite simply go across there. So delete the last few bits of this, and I think that is good for fixing up the science. Let's just put those in there, so that's good. Guess I delete a lot of stuff. The construction bots are really busy with something. Hopefully they'll sort it out. So once that belt is finished, I think that is everything. So science is now working, so that's another thing done. So this is a lot tidier than before. Freed up some space here to do stuff with, which since the mall is just here could be handy. Especially when I need to like do more intermediate stuff. Like, I think I'm going to do intermediates and I carry on doing them away from here. I think this was kind of too close. What's kind of happened is the mall starts expanding around it, which is not so good. So yeah, I might build those somewhere out the way if I can. Maybe up there or something, I don't know. Have to decide that in the future, but I do have a little bit more space here for sure. And added with the upgrade to the steel and the iron over here, that's really good. And getting the glass fibre, which means I've good parts of the way along to getting the exterior of robots. Just a few more things to finish with those, primarily getting the batteries and then doing the actual stuff over in the mall area to make them. So that will be for next time, so I hope you like, subscribe and tune into that.